This podcast may contain paid advertisements, but more on that later. Welcome to the O'Connor Bootstrap podcast, where I discuss the nuts and bolts of business and leadership, with a focus on bootstrapping a business from the ground up. This podcast is for all entrepreneurs, bootstrappers, and leaders in all walks of life. My goal is to help you grow both personally and professionally. I am your host, Isaiah O'Connor. Today's sponsor is audible.com, my favorite place to gather information about everything. But today, and being a business podcast and what I'm talking about today, the book I recommend is EntreLeadership by Dave Ramsey. If you've listened to this podcast a while, you'll know this is one of my favorite books. It's an amazing book about bootstrapping, about building a business, about leadership, and how to run and grow your business. Now, Dave Ramsey started his company on a card table in the living room, and he now has over 500 employees and is doing amazing. And this book details that journey. So that's EntreLeadership by Dave Ramsey. You can go get a copy at audible.com. I personally prefer the read by the author version because when you listen to an author reading their own work, you really get the emphasis of what they want to emphasize and not just what the editing process went through. You really get it. I really like the read by the author version, and you can get that over at audible.com. And of course, when you do, you can use my code audible.com/B bootstrap. That's bootstrap with a capital B. And when you do that, you use that code, you can sign up, you get a free 30-day trial. After that, it's only $14.95 a month. You get one free Audible book, which you can get EntreLeadership with. You keep that book forever. You get 2 Audible originals, which you also keep forever. And then you also will have access to their entire listening library for that 30 days for free. They're all streaming books, basically. And it's just really a good package. I've got well over 100 books. I've lost track of how many books I have, mainly because my wife had an account for a while that I use, and then I have my own account now. So I've got well over 100 books. I really, really do love Audible. I listen to it all the time, drive my wife nuts sometimes listening to it, because I can listen to it and make dinner. I can listen to it and clean the house. I can listen to it and do dishes. I can listen to it, go fishing, whatever. I am able to listen wherever I am, so I can really learn and grow while I'm busy with other stuff. So it's really amazing. Check it out, audible.com/bootstrap with a capital B. It is a sponsor. It really helps us out. So go ahead, go check it out, audible.com. Get your free copy today of EntreLeadership. Now, when Dave Ramsey talks about compensation a bit, and I had a whole lesson on compensation or a podcast, I should say, about how to pay your employees. I might re-record that one in the future or go over it again because I didn't have my nice mic. It was a little rough listening to it again. But one thing I mentioned, but I didn't really go into, was the benefit package. Now, when you're trying to calculate how much you're going to pay an employee, you need to add in the cost of benefits. And it's really worthwhile to give your employee really good benefits to attract the best employees. Like I talked about on my podcast about minimum wage, I don't think there should be a minimum wage. I think it's bad for people, bad for business, stagnates wage growth, etc. I mean, you can go back and listen to that few podcasts back, sure, but it's my whole point. Even in that was don't pay minimum wage, pay better than minimum wage. Take really good care of your employees. Now, for an employee, the benefit package, if you're paying a person even a lower wage, even if you have to pay just over minimum wage because it's a dishwasher and you can't afford to pay a huge amount of money for a dishwasher, just an example in a restaurant, you can actually have such a generous benefit package, you can add a lot to it. And I found a Forbes article on this, and they talk about there's about a 32% of your cost of compensation is in benefits. So 32%. And the benefits can really increase your employee's total income if you really consider the cost of those benefits by a substantial amount. Say a person makes $30,000 a year, the benefits package could add in another $15,000 in value. That's pretty big chunk of their total compensation. And it's very important to think about this. And the more benefits you can give, the more you can pay for, the more you can help them out, the happier the employees will be. And it's really cool. And not only that, but with the employees, they're often not taxed on these benefits. It's extra stuff they can get. And of course, like everything else, salary benefits, everything else, they are tax write-offs for it. Sure, it's out-of-pocket expense, but it does go to tax write-off, so don't stress about taking care of your employees. It is all a tax write-off. So, yeah, here's some benefits that you can give to employees. I'm just going to go through and read and explain the list of these. A lot of these are insurances, etc. So I'm going to just go through a list here that is on Forbes. I'm not going to read the whole article, just the highlights here. Health insurance. If you are not living in country with a national health plan, I live in Norway, there's a national health plan. But in the States, health insurance can be a big cost. And if you provide health care for your employees, that's a huge one. That's very standard. Most people will look and go, oh yeah, how's a health plan? And you can go into healthcare and get a good health plan. Perhaps a health savings account, I think that's what it's called, Health HSA, which really is a great way to provide health care. There's a lot of different ways to do this, but go look into it. Provide some sort of health care for your employee. It could be regular health care, health savings account. Yeah, that's on the list. It's also good because they also get tax savings, and there's something about, I'm not sure quite how it works, but you get that and you can actually save some money for healthcare. I don't know quite how that works, but from what I hear, they're a great way to do it. I will probably research that and go back in. A retirement plan. That's always a nice thing to do for your employees. Set up a good retirement plan for them. Set up a 401k for them. And with retirement plans, you can contribute a certain amount, a match amount, up to a certain percentage. For example, Walmart has a 6% match, so they match 6% of whatever you put in, up to 6% or something like that. So that's really cool. McDonald's, believe it or not, has a 100% match on contributions to your 401k. That's really amazing for your employees. They put in amount of money, you match it, and they double up their total retirement. So that's really cool. That's really worth it. Yeah, with the 3% match, by the way, the employee would see at about at $73,628 in their account over 20 years. So that's a pretty good extra boost there. And that's just the contributions. That's not the growth in that retirement plan. Then you can provide dental insurance. That's still kind of under health, but dental is separate. But dental is a big cost. It's really hard to get dental insurance. It's a pain in the butt getting dental insurance, especially if you need something immediately. Oftentimes in the States, when we were there, if you have a dental emergency and you get dental care, it's a lot more expensive than if you have dental care in place and then have an emergency. And so having a good dental plan in place is really nice. Disability insurance, something that's pretty standard. Again, these are fairly standard, but disability, if they get hurt on the job or get hurt, period, and they can't work, disability insurance covers them. And that's really good. It really reassures the person, gives them more confidence being there, knowing that if they get hurt, they're not going to starve to death because they can't work. Life insurance, another one, depending on the type of work you have, another one that's not too expensive, really worth it. If an employee dies, sadly, then their dependents will be taken good care of. And anytime, again, you want to take care of people, you want to take care of their families. I always talk about that as a big part, an important part of the value, and important part of running a business is providing that type of value of taking care of people, taking care of their families. So providing life insurance is another great way to take care of a person, help them take care of their family. Then there's stock options where employees can buy stock in your company. So that's also a very good thing. Take care of them. Lost myself there. Sorry about that. Then you can actually add in extra contributors to the FICA. That's the FICA insurance, federal insurance contribution, Social Security, and Medicare. And you can add into that so that their Social Security and their Medicare amount they have in that account goes up. So that will really help them. Of course, stock options, I just said, where you can buy stock. You can reimburse tuition. This can be a big one. If you can help your employees get a better job, then that's, or do better in the job and provide for them to learn. Training your people is always great. If you help them go to school, if you help them learn and grow and be better, that is an amazing thing to do. And can make such a huge impact on that. And some employers I've heard of, the better they did, they extended that to every one of the, like a college fund actually, for the person's family. You can actually provide an option where you provide money for school for your employees' children. And I heard of one guy who came in who was stressed about paying for his kids' school. He had a lot of kids, he had like 7 kids. And when they told him that they were all covered, the guy broke down in tears and started crying on the spot because he was so worried about that. This is a big thing. You can really take care of people by paying for their school. Then, of course, there's unemployment insurance. I do believe you have to pay that anyway, but you got to make sure you have it paid for. You can pay for financial coaching. You can pay for marriage counseling, anything that can help them be a better person, a better employee. An employee who's not stressed about money is a better employee. An employee that is not fighting with their spouse, that's another thing you can do. You can do things and help provide coaching, counseling services, all this stuff. You can pay for this and provide this so your employees are the best people you can have because you're taking good care of them. And there's other stuff you can do as well. I do think I mentioned there's profit sharing bonuses where at the end of the year you take your profit and you split it amongst your employees as well. There's lots and lots of different ways you can compensate. You can do meals, you can provide meals at your job site, you can provide food for people, you can provide company discounts, many restaurants allow you to eat food or a meal on the job, a big discount. So when you buy stuff, you get a discount. All this stuff. There's a lot of different things that are employee benefits and perks for working for you that you should think about when you're looking to hire. Now, again, the more you can afford of these, the better. The better you can take care of your employee, the more value you provide for your employee, the happier they will be. The happier they will be, the more confident they are with you, the better relationship you have, the better they will work out for you, the better they'll take care of your customers. It's a win-win situation. You take good care of your people, they will take good care of you. That's my number one thing when it comes to management and leadership. If you take good care of the people you're leading, if you're a leader, not a boss, taking good care of them and providing the best value for them and helping them provide value for the family, providing for them, you will have some really great employees. They will be loyal because you're taking good care of them. That's the best way to go. Take great care of your employees. So that's just a little bit of an overview of employee compensation that's not just a hourly wage, not just the wage, not just the salary, but all this other stuff you can do to take really good of your employees will help you get good employees that stay loyal and really take good care of your company and your customers. And it's a great way to grow. Anyway, I'll leave it with that. And next week, or next Friday, or Thursday. I'm not used to this new schedule yet. On Thursday, we will have a guest on again, Harrison Houghton. He will be back, and we will be talking about getting paid. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye. If you found value in this content, please leave a comment and give us a 5-star rating on whichever podcast platform you use. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and most other podcast platforms. If you would like to support us, you can check out our sponsor links, or if you would like to directly support the show, you can donate or join our membership program at buymeacoffee.com/bootstrap. Of course, it really helps when you share these podcasts as well. If you would like to interact with me and other bootstrappers and leaders, you can join our O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast Facebook group. You have been listening to the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast and Atheoz Business Solutions Podcast. For our companion podcast, the Atheoz Business Podcast, hosted by Jason St. Clair, past episodes, and related blogs, check out our website at www.atheoz.com, which is www.atheoz.com, or theoz.com. Until next time, I've been your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor.